Welcome back.
Why aren't you sitting in a traffic jam for 72 hours, in a Ford Fiesta going to the coast because it's bank holiday, Phil? Why aren't you doing that? And then just going, these roads, they're terrible.
It's primarily because I sold my Ford Fiesta about 10 years ago.
Did you have one? I guessed that. I don't know. It was a complete guess on my part.
Oh, they were fabulous little cars. I love them.
They are still great cars. Ford make really good cars.
I agree.
Totally underrated. They're good cars.
Oh, completely. Love it.
They're really nice. It's just badge envy, isn't it? It's badge snobbery. If it had BMW or something.
Yeah. I am a bit of a badge snob. I'm sure this comes.
Are you?
Yeah. Now, Russell.
Yes. Go on.
I warned you. I have a little bit of a treat for you today. A bit of a surprise.
Treat.
Oh yes, a surprise. Are you ready for
that? Oh right, yes. Go ahead. I'm up for surprise today of all days. Yes.
I've discovered a new toy. Right.
It's not from Ann Summers, is it? Because that is not that type of show.
No,
Come on. Even I have standards.
Watch your screen.
I'm watching now.
Oh, hey, we're the right way around again.
Oh, thank God. The Anton Deck and Morecambe and Wise have returned. How did you find it?
Well, I'm delighted to report that the good people at StreamYard, who are the company that we use to broadcast this program, decided to have a nice, shiny new little feature. And the new feature is where you can swap your screens over. So
Jiminy Crickets.
Isn't that exciting?
That's very good. I didn't know what it was. I thought you were going to say, I've won the lottery, Russ, and as a thank you, I want to give you 4 million quid. Emma Webb, yo. Emma, you're obviously very down with the kids.
I mean, you say that, but
I don't know. What do I know?
But arguably, that's also could be a reference to the popular toy.
It could be. We don't know. Hey, look I've got. They're back. They're back. As I'm now broadcasting from another location. Oh. I like that. Makes me happy. Very few things do at the moment, but that makes me happy. So that's a good thing. Bank holiday Monday. What's the point? What's the point?
Well, you say what's the point, but actually,
what is the point? What is the point of it?
No, but you say that, but I do believe there's something about a bank holiday.
Mary?
There is something about Mary, but I also believe that even though it is a bank holiday, and I know that because we're living in a world where actually every single day seems to be the same, I believe that a bank holiday is quite a good thing because it marks something technically different, even though it might just be the same day.
Well, Andrea Lucas is thrilled that it's a bank holiday morning. It's bank holiday, so I can watch and listen. Rush and Phil live from the Notting Hill Carnival. Alan, I would rather. I can think of anything less that I would ever want to do than go to the blooming Notting Hill Carnival.
Alan,
my idea of hell.
Hang on,
really Alan, is my idea of hell. I couldn't bear it.
Is Princess for 10 minutes. Alan, is Princess Diana your profile picture? How extraordinary! Goodness.
Okay. That's the Testino picture, isn't it? The Mario Testino photo. He knew how to take a shot, that fella.
Well, quite.
He knew how to take a photo with his Brownie 127. Everyone else have a Brownie 127, the first camera? Phil wouldn't even know what that is. Brownie 127, black and white film, because we didn't have color properly. And you put it in, and there was no change. You could just click. That was it. Brownie 127. Yes, I loved her. Did you? Why? Alan? Interesting question. Why did you love Princess Diana?
I was going to say today marks the anniversary of her passing. I know it's the 31st of August, wasn't it?
Was it? I don't know. No idea. No idea when it was.
Francois Pascal drank too much last night listening to you in bed.
Oh, formidable, sacré bleu. Où étiez-vous? No, I can say two. I know her well. Où étais-tu hier soir? Is that right?
Where were you last night, in other words?
Or la dernière soir. Right, 23 years ago today. Why did you love her so much? Why?
Well, she was a very likable character.
Mm-hmm. I met her on a few occasions. I was, it was because of Capital Radio, and it was a weird thing when she walked in the room. It was a very, very, very weird thing because if you broke down chez moi,
Place.
toute seule, François, toute seule, ou avec une homme.
Right, so we've established that Francois was drinking a little too much at her abode. Whoops.
When I was a kid, right, they for some reasons, late night TV, well, it used to finish about 11 o'clock and then the dot. How us your pooch? Us our pooch fine. No idea. Thanks, Lisa.
I can only assume that Lisa is inquiring how Ebony's doing. And
Ebony's great. She's non avec un homme. Oh, was it Ken Elmjanur? Player.
Potentially.
Could have been. I don't know. It's none of my business.
I was drinking.
It's none of our business. What the hell?
I wasn't drinking much last night.
I'm just jealous.
I was very, very well behaved last night. I didn't drink anything.
I wasn't.
No.
I watched. There's a great trilogy of Spanish films, and I watched the last one last night. It's called the Bat Zan trilogy. One word. If I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, I'm sorry. I don't speak a word of Spanish. But from Dos wine, bring wine. That's basically my Spanish.
You know.
And bring another beer. San Miguel. That's my Spanish. San Miguel. And this trilogy is just fantastic. I wrote about it on Facebook last night. Francois, you did not like my suggestions that you were drinking with Kanem Janur last night. I think she's been quite clear on that point. Shit, no. Okay, well, thanks, Francois. Is your pooch Russ? And Lisa James, thank you. She's fine. She's kind of like me, old and grumpy, and she just sleeps a lot.
Good Lord.
That's kind of how she is. That's why we get on. She's my best friend. She's lovely. Where is the sun shining, Lisa James? Where is it? In your heart? In your mind? Where are you that the sun is shining? There's rubbish. Rubbish.
Too bad in old Hertfordshire.
That's garbage here. Now, hey, this film trilogy, I can't recommend it highly enough. It's really fantastic. It's a kind of police procedural, but it's very, very dark, very creepy, very mysterious. And it's set in near the Barzan River, which is, I looked it up on the map yesterday, as I've spent hours watching. They're 2.5 hour films each, and it's extreme north of Spain. So it's next to Basque country. What's going on? Jill Kenton, what's going on now?
JK is listening.
Wow. Okay.
Now, speaking of pooches, JK.
I haven't finished, but I'm talking about the film.
Yeah, I know. But speaking of pooches, I'm very sad about JK's doggy. She's not very well.
I know. I wrote.
Yeah, well,
people go on about their lives. Okay. But when they go on about a dog, I always reply, even if I don't know them. I always do that. I always, you're in Penarth, South Wales. It's hot there. Wow. Okay. That's good news. Andrea Lucas, I finished binge watching Call My Agent. It was funny and sad at the same time. I then watched Brudenhof. How they live like that, I do not know. We have ways of making you live like that. God knows, I don't know how they live like that. Not my cup of tea. These are all the shows that were recommended by the fabulous Chantal Rickards, who joins us on a Friday at 1:30. To think when the hell. Hey, I got big news. Big news talking about dogs. No, it's not a Jill Kenton reference. I've got big news.
Are you getting a dog?
No, I'm not getting another dog. No, but I got to tell you, because Ebony's now 11 and a half, heading up towards 12, my heart is filled with a certain sadness that eventually I'm going to lose her, and I will be absolutely inconsolable when that day comes. I know it. I will. I will be, and I will get another dog straight away. Don't know what I'll get. Something suitable, Alsatian.
A miniature
Doberman. I'm thinking about a mini Dachshund. I'm thinking about Dachshund. I'm thinking about a long-haired Dachshund. I'm thinking about a long-haired Dachshund because I think they're cute and they look nice. Jill Kenton, here we go. We're driving to Rochdale to pick up a car. Madness Drive. I've been driving in my car. Right. Lars, Da, 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 da. I really like Madness. What are you, Rochdale? What the hell? It's like 1 billion miles away. It's north of Hampstead. Jill, what are you doing there? Oh, here we go.
All you need to know is it's beyond the Watford Gap.
So therefore, we don't give a shit. We don't want to go there. Lisa Janes, Russ, dark, creepy, and mysterious. Is that your profile status? Could be today. I'm not in the best of moods. I'll tell you why. I'm not sleeping, and I haven't slept for so long, and it is killing me, gang. Don't mind telling you, it's absolutely killing me. So, Jilly Willy, what car are you getting? And drive safely. Anyway, back to this film trilogy very, very briefly, and then we'll get back to all you guys. The film trilogy is called the Barzan trilogy. It's on Netflix. You do have to watch them in order, otherwise they will make absolutely no sense. They're very, very, very intense. Every scene carries so much information. There's no fat on it. And they're 2.5 hours each. And I got to tell you, it's they're a big deal. They really are. Every scene, there's something just slightly off. As you take, Phil, do you know what I mean? You take normality and you slightly twist it. They're not supernatural or anything, like they're not, but you feel they could be, but they're not. And the scenery is amazing in this northern Spain area. And it's great. Jill Kenton, I'm going to Super Vet for a second opinion. You're going to the vets to see if you should be driving to Rochdale. What the hell's the matter with you? You could have asked Phil. He's your mate. Phone him up. Phil, should I go to Rochdale? Phil would say, no. And you say, thanks, Phil. That would be the end of it. Daxon says the best, says Judy Albert.
If specifically Jill required a veterinarian to tell her whether or not she should drive to Rochdale or not.
That's basically
I'm not qualified as a veterinarian, so I don't think I'd have been able to advise on that.
Well, you're a pescatorian. Isn't that the same thing?
True.
That is very, very, surely that's very close. You only eat fish, so you're like a vet.
It's very similar.
Very similar. You can't tell the difference. You have to get a cigarette paper in between to even detect the slightest difference. Now, Jill Kenton, everybody else who loves dogs. Hello, Martin Bell, all the way from Mallorca. God, I'm in a weird mood. Hey, I'll tell you what. We are getting on my pal, your pal, Mr. Phil Dave, Anna Webb.
Yes, I saw that.
And I'm going to do what I've decided, because you and I love dogs, and so many of our listeners love dogs. I'm going to do, I think, a 1-hour special with Anna next week, maybe Wednesday. And you can ask all your dog questions. Everything about
very much but Anna's very much into therapy dogs as well. So I think it's important that we cover that in particular, because we should
particular area.
Dogs affect people's moods, because they really help.
I'll tell you why. Because I recommended Anna spoke to somebody very close to me. They had an hour's conversation. It was exceptionally helpful, as I knew Anna Webb would be. The dogs are reacting to lockdown. No ifs, no buts. The dogs are picking up on it. And that's why their behavior is changing. So I'm really keen that Phil and I talk to Anna Webb. You can pile in with all your questions. It's not like the BBC where you got to queue up and maybe you get on if they're in the mood or not. All your questions come up on my screen and Phil's screen, and we shoot them at Anna. So I'm going to see if I can set it up for next Wednesday. We'll do a 1-hour canine horror.
Very good.
Special. We'll do the special with Anna Webb, who is just great. Martin Bell, I use one of my dogs in therapy. There you go. That's where I want to go. I don't want to go like, should I be walking my dog far? I want to get down to the nitty gritty and how the dogs themselves are being affected, how they're picking up on all the vibes we're giving off. I got to tell you, the last few days, this has really got to me. I'll be honest with you. I know I'm not supposed to say that, but it has. It's really got to me. And not sleeping is driving me nuts. Love my Yorkie, says Melanie Hutchins. 14 years old and completely bonkers. We like Yorkies are nice. I like Yorkies. I don't think there's any particular dog I don't like.
No, but hang on a sec. We do like Yorkies, but it's very important. Let's not get into doggy discussions now, everybody. It's really important that we do this when we've got Anna on, because then she'll join in the conversation.
Of course you will. Of course you will. Anyway, there we are. Okay. A Cavachon. Don't shed and so cute. I don't have a shed. I don't even have a garden. What am I supposed to do? There we go. Who's saying that we make her laugh? Jill Kenton, you boys making me laugh. Love you both. Jill, your boys used to make us laugh. I'll leave it there.
I don't get it.
I know you don't. Jill does.
Huh?
Jill. Dead heat in a Zeppelin race. Anyway, moving on. Anyway, very nice woman, Jill Kenton. I have to say, she's a very nice woman. She's lots of fun. Noisy. Jeez. Do you remember when we went in the days when we had a live film? We went to see a cabaret. Do you remember?
A cabaret.
We went to Crazy Cox. Do you remember? Me, and somehow Jill Kenton tagged along. We don't know why. No idea. I went to see a friend of mine performing. I can't remember who the hell it was now. And then,
it wasn't Cassidy, was it?
No, I don't think. No, it wasn't Cassidy Jensen. I don't know who it was, but it wasn't Cassidy. Well, and Jill, I think we'd been somewhere, and then bit by bit, people started attaching like barnacles on the hull of a ship.
I remember where we'd been. Am I allowed to say? I think I'm allowed to say.
I think we've been to see Sen's film, haven't we? I think
Sen's.
we've been to the Marlborough Street Hotel, which I'd never heard of.
Sen's film screening, and then from then on we went on to Crazy Cox.
Yeah, this is when we had a life. This is when we would do things and feel like okay, you know. Can't sleep? Try Sleep Mist sprayed over your pillow. I've tried lavender. I have tried soothing sounds. I have tried this works. Sleep spray. Sleep spray.
I've got sleep spray.
What is it? Is it just called sleep spray?
I don't know if it's just called sleep.
It's not Airwick, is it? It's not like Airwick. I'm just checking. I don't know what it is.
It consists of lavender. I know that much.
Well, I've got lavender spray. Yeah.
Other bits and pieces, and then it just sort of sends you nodding off. It's quite good, actually.
I don't think it helps. I keep getting a schnauzer paw straight in my face.
That probably doesn't help you too.
And she has to build nests and build caves out of cushions. Has to. And the cushions, it's just like an excavator, you know, until everything is just perfect. Then she's comfortable. Then everyone can go to sleep. Sleep spray. Is it just called that, gang? Let me know. Mike Cook, Melanie Hutchins. Is that the trade name? What's the name? Because I'm getting desperate. Seriously, it's driving me crazy. Really horrible. There we are. You sleep all right though, Phil, don't you? You sleep all right?
I have to do a lot to make sure I sleep okay. It really
brings us back to Jill Kenton.
It really isn't a simple case of just, okay, off you go. I'm off to bed now, because it's silly things. Like I'd have to have a bath before going to bed to relax me to be then I also have to have this lavender spray stuff that I was talking about. Then, well, I mean, I don't have to have that one specifically, but have something similar. No screens. I always read. No television in bed. Nothing like that. No screen. Read a book. Earplugs. So I stop listening to any background noise or anything. I go through a whole Megillah to get to bed. Believe me. And anyone who doesn't know to anyone who knows to anyone who doesn't know what a Megillah is, it's a long process.
A Megillah. It's a Gunsa business. It's the same thing. Valerian Tea. That was a shocking film. Andrea Lucas. Wasn't that a sci-fi film?
Occasionally I put on the History Channel. That works as well.
You just said no screens. Now you've gone against yourself.
Because I'm being flippant.
You're a child. I love the History Channel. You don't like the History Channel? I bloody love that. Well, great. Why don't you like it? It's fantastic. Lisa James, get some pure lavender oil and drop some on top of quilt. Lisa, quilt? Do I look like I have a quilt? I haven't even heard that word since about 1958. A quilt. Horlicks. I can't afford them. Oh, sorry, I misunderstood, Melanie. Sorry, misunderstood there. Okay. And you don't know what you're getting. It's never the same as in the picture. Let's be honest about it. Anna Kennedy, OBE. She's the girl for you and me. She's the expert that we have on women's radio station. Anna Kennedy. Hello, Anna. Hello, guys.
Hi.
This is very good. Hello, guys. Today at 1 p.m., my interview with the inspirational news correspondent and documentary maker, Mikey K, on women's radio station, All Things Autism, at 1 p.m. Monday Motivation. Anna, how lovely to hear from you. Charming, charming woman. expert on autism. If you've never caught her show, you can always get all the shows. They're always there. You can go back and find them. Anna Kennedy on Women's Radio Station, which is our sister radio station. It came a year before Men's Radio. Anna, how lovely. So that is 1 p.m. today. Inspirational news correspondent, documentary maker Mikey K on Women's Radio Station, all things autism. There you go.
Yeah, I think it's a bit unfair because Women's Radio is known as our sister station.
Yeah.
But for Women's Radio, Men's Radio is known as their sister station. Why can't we be their brother radio station?
We're not really related. We're not related. You're absolutely right. There's completely no logic to it. It's phraseology, isn't it? I'm sure the woke Marxist fascist brigade will get us stopping doing that. Right. Chrissy Holt from the middle of Spain, her and her tractor. I don't sleep either. Even if I'm dozing, I'm having weird dreams. Oh, tell me about it. I feel like I've been working nonstop. I wake up exhausted. Never know who I'm with, except sometimes it's you, Russ. What?
Do you mind terribly?
Hang on a minute.
I would far rather that we don't talk about sleeping because I'm just yawning my way through this now. This is not good. I'm not bored. I'm just now tired.
Lisa James, put some world news on or some classical music on very low. I'm going to share something. Can I share something with you? I'm going to share something with you about classical music.
Is it clean?
No, it's completely clean. No, it's not. You're thinking about my Orlix gag. No, it's completely clean. Come on, it got you. It amused you. It amused you. So why? Saturday, I had to go.
This was day. Sorry, keep going.
Penny, I knew you weren't really away, Penny. I knew it. You were pretending to be on an aeroplane. I knew it all along. You cheat. You tease us with your travel plans. I loved it. Penny posted pictures. She's gone. So I don't know where she's gone. I think she's in German Street. I think the whole thing was a ruse so he wouldn't disturb her. I bet you. So she posted pictures of the departure board and then supposedly on a plane. I bet it was Photoshop. She's in Putney or somewhere. I bet.
Oh my God, Chrissy.
Hi.
My dog Kiki caught a snake the other day. Pretty scary. Close to the front door. She kills anything. Ugh.
Oh.
Crumbs. Good Lord.
It was in Spain. Wowzer. Snakes. I can live without that. Could you live without that? Melanie Hutchins. Full moon coming up. I feel a bad moon rising. Never a good time for sleep. Melanie, it's never a good time for sleep. Penny, I hope you're well. I hope wherever the heck you are, it is sunny. I hope just switch off. Just relax. Don't have any floods with 56,000 gallons of water.
Yeah, please
don't have to rebuild the theater. Just chill. There we go.
Remember that chilling.
No, I don't. I can't switch off. This is the thing. So anyway, I want to share this with you. I put a boring film on that would put me to sleep. Francois, how do you know it's boring to start with? How would she know it's boring? Because it always looks like the synopsis, right? It always looks great. And then you get into it and you go, this is crap. I give up. Saturday, last holiday till Christmas. I am dreading Christmas. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what that's going to be like?
Absolutely correct. This is the last bank holiday before Christmas. Enjoy it, everybody.
Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Enjoy yourself. Da, 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 da.
I mean, let's establish this. Tomorrow is the beginning of the Burr month. So the final.
The what? Say that again, slowly.
The Burr months.
Burr. What is Burr month?
September, October, November, December. The Burr months.
Did you make that phrase up?
I've heard it before.
By who?
Me.
Ed, question for you, Ed Grossman. Somebody, all my music pals like Barry Blue and David Stark and Lloyd Beatty and all the gang who were at one time in or still are like lovely Barry Blue is. Somebody died. Who they're all. I'm absolutely honest with you. I never get on the grief wagon. I'd never heard of him. But they all thought this guy was fabulous. Ed, can you tell us a little bit about this chap? Because he clearly had a huge impact on so many lives. Look at the David Stark's post or Barry Blue's post, or and Beanie's mentioned something as well. So this fellow, everyone seems to really, really have liked him. Don't know who he is. Saturday.
Oh, yes, I forgot you were telling us something.
Saturday, I had to go to a major London hospital for an MRI scan, just part of my regular stuff, right? Dick Lee, that's correct. And absolutely right, Ed. Thank you. But I'd never heard of him because I'm not really in the industry. And
the radiologist saw right through you. Thank you.
Lisa James, Russ, if all else fails, ask your GP for a low dose of Zopicon. Zopicon. What the hell? How do I pronounce it? Zopiclone. My eyesight's more shit. Zopiclone. It does help. Ed Grossman, he founded GTO Records with Lawrence. I'm not in the music industry, Ed. Remind me. Lawrence Myers? Lawrence Gassman, my former next door neighbor when I was a kid, my best friend. So I went for my MRI scan on Saturday, right? And go to Guy's Hospital, which is gigantic and normally as busy as Victoria Station as it used to be when we all had lives. And of course, deserted. No one. And several things happened, right? One, I fully expected Jack Nicholson with an axe to appear in some of the corridors because there was just me walking down those endless, huge, long corridors in Guy's Hospital. No one else, just me. And bravo to the NHS. The staff were fantastic. They were so friendly. They were so helpful. They were so courteous. Everything was on time. They were just great. Nothing but praise for them, right? So they say to you, because it's a very, very loud, I'm sure loads of you have had MRI scans, it's definitely loud. So they put in earplugs and then they put on cans, have your earphones, and they said, what sort of music? They said, would you like Capital? And I burst out laughing. I didn't know why. I said, no. So I said some classical music.
An MRI scanner. Have you got this? It's absolutely incredible. The racket they make. First and foremost, they start off with a sort of...
That's it, but it's like...
It's horrendous. I mean, who invented those bloody? Can I just say, I've got a really sore fist now from doing it. What the hell's that?
Well, you're not a drummer then, are you? You see, I could do that for hours. Nothing would happen. So they lie you down. They put all this stuff over your chest because God knows what they're going to bombard you with. And it's a tunnel, right? Now, mercifully this time, my whole head did not get it. You know, when you go in that thing, it's really claustrophobic. So they said, what sort of music? So I said, what's the matter now? What's he done now? What's the matter with you? He's sticking himself there. What's so funny?
Where the hell did that come from, Lisa? Okay, burning question. Do penguins have knees?
No, but Kit Kats do. Moving on.
Where the hell did that come from? Anyway.
I saw that post last night, I think it was. Do penguins have knees? I love penguins. Aren't penguins great?
I think penguins are fabulous.
I love penguins. They're just so fun. I love the way they walk. They look like Hercule Poirot. They're wandering around. They always look busy.
To me, any animal that's bolt upright, has impeccable manners, and dressed in black and white, I get on with.
Of course you would. They are the Phil Dave of the animal kingdom. They always look immaculate.
Yep.
I think penguins should just be known as Phil Daves from now on. They shouldn't even be called penguins. Just call them Phil Daves. There's a gorgeous clip of a penguin standing there on the ice, and another penguin just comes and shoves it straight so it falls down.
Oh yes, it falls into the water.
So funny. It's so random, and it's like when you see it, it's hilarious. Try and look it up. It's a penguin pushing another penguin, which doesn't sound that exciting. When you see it, it's hilarious. Right, so there I am, lying down, and I'm about to go into the MRI scanning machine, and I've got classical music, and the music starts, and I start to move into the tunnel. When you're a writer, your imagination runs riot. And I'm thinking, this is, if I was going to be cremated, this is exactly what it would be like. This is awful. There'd be some crappy classical music. And then my family and whatever friends I got left, they'd see, and I freaked me out. I absolutely freaked me out. I thought, oh my God, this is it. Maybe I saw the James Bond one. Which one was it? Where they put him in the cremation unit.
Oh, gracious me.
Which Bond was it? It was Goldfinger. I think it was Goldfinger.
Talking about, but I can't remember it.
I think it's Goldfinger. Finish your MRI story. I'm trying to, but we have knees and penguins to discuss, Andrea Lucas. Lisa. So I'm now in the MRI scan. And do the noise again that it makes. Phil. Dive. It's freaking deafening.
Absolutely.
But what I know, most people would go, God, this noise, it's terrible. But the weird thing, one of my favorite bands, and I've watched all the documentaries during lockdown and everything, really got into them, is Metallica. And the noise the MRI machine was making is exactly the same BPMs, beats per minute, as most Metallica tunes. So for half an hour, I had to...
A scanner.
I'm
thinking of taking up part-time work as a scanner.
You'd be genius.
Yeah.
Think of the money that would save. They wouldn't have to switch anything on. They'd have you behind a screen just making the noise, and everyone would go, oh, I feel better. And then somebody very eminent would go, we've looked at your scan. You're fine. If they die, they die. They're not going to come back and complain. They've saved themselves a fortune. They're going to pay you, what, £5 an hour for you to go. That's how we save the NHS, everybody. Oh, diamonds are forever. You're absolutely right, Anthony Lyons, top publisher to the stars. Belated happy birthday to you, Anthony. Let's get back to the penguins. No, you will not get back to the penguins. I haven't finished my fascinating MRIs. Everyone's a critic. So all I could think of was, this sounds just like a Metallica tune. So I filled in all the drum fills for half an hour. Finished my MRI story. Could they find your brain, Russ? Ha 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 ha, Chrissy Hull.
He gets the results next week.
Yeah. Miserable now. I would go mental. Well, that's not the phrase we want to hear on this radio station. I would go mental in that machine. Well, you know, as long as your head's outside the tunnel, it's like it's when you're right inside it, which I've had many times. God almighty, that is loud. Right, back to penguins. Diamonds are forever. Watch them. Something. Yeah. Okay. Right. Phil, what are you doing now? What are you looking for?
I don't have a penguin. I've got a cereal bar if anyone wants.
Pop up a penguin. Pop quiz. Who did the voiceover for that? That TV advert before Phil Dave's time? Come on. Pop quiz. Who did Pop up a penguin? Ed Grossman, they do have knees.
Was it Leslie Phillips?
No, it was not. No, it was not Leslie Phillips. You're in the right ballpark, but it wasn't him. Getting bored, right? All right, Lisa, we've answered your question. Ed Grossman, who's a very highly intelligent man, they do have knees. Okay, how do penguins?
Hang on a sec. Hey, was
Lisa? You are taking too much spice in your food. You wanna wind it back a little bit, there, girl.
Water it down. Hang on. Was it the chap who? Oh, gracious me! The chap with the most phenomenal voice in broadcast history, who narrated War of the Worlds.
No. What, Richard Burton?
Yes.
Richard Burton. No, Richard Burton did not do voiceover for Penguin commercials. Neither was it Orson Welles.
Oh.
Right. Okay. How do Lisa James? What's the matter with you today? You're a bit fruity. How do penguins bonk if they can't bend knees? I'm going to be honest with you, Lisa. This is going to come as a shock. Neither Phil Dave nor myself are experts on the sex life of penguins. I know that's coming as a surprise.
I hate to tell you this, but I sort of do know the answer to this.
Oh, you perv. You pervert.
No, in my defense, it's not because that I have a sudden fascination with this penguin stuff.
No, we've got to hang on. We've got a huge row breaking up. Francois Pascal, this penguin shit is very boring. Andrea Lucas, thank you, baby. Lisa is reducing the comments to the gutter.
Yes. Anyway, no, but in all seriousness, the penguin ability to reproduce is actually quite fascinating because they both lay flat, you see, and the male gets
on the ice.
Oh, the male gets on top of the ice soon melts with what they get up to per lease. But so anyway, what happens is that the female lies flat on her stomach on the snow and the ice, and then the male climbs on top at a vertical, a horizontal angle on top, and they just sort of slide back and forward, sort of a little bit like, you remember those old flatbed?
So it's like an 1830 club holiday on ice.
Sort of. But do you remember those old flatbed scanners that used to get where the glass used to move in its entirety along and then come back over again? So it's a little bit of that motion. I watch a lot of Sky Nature, and now I'm very happy I do because I knew the answer. Oh, Emma Louise, by the way, says, was it Derek Nemo?
Alan Samuels has converted. It was Derek Nemo. Pick up a penguin. I'll pop up a penguin. Lovely.
Emma Louise Webb also got that answer correct. She said, was it Derek Nemo?
Chrissy Holt, what are you, one of the Durrells or something? We have two doves making love all the time. She lives in Spain, by the way, except she doesn't want it. So there's a lot of fighting.
Oh dear. Right.
What in the name?
Ed Grossman, Phil, how do you know this? I watch a lot of Sky Nature. I'm fascinated by the likes of Attenborough and all of those kind of documentaries. I don't know why. I just like the natural world.
That's why he's in Hertfordshire, everybody.
Yes.
You're right. It was Derek Nemo. Yes, says Emma Webb. It was Derek. Derek Nemo was great. Loved Derek Nemo. He was really very, he was a unique sort of character. I never met him, just liked his work very, very much.
You know what came up on Twitter feed today? Speaking of characters we liked very much indeed. Apparently, on this day in 1994, that late and great Larry Grayson made his final TV appearance.
It was awful. It was shocking. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
It's a shocker.
No, it wasn't a great performance, but that was a performance. But at least, you know, it reminded me of his humor, and I thought he was a very funny chap.
Now, there is a wonderful fellow, and because I'm so tired, his name is, God, I know him so bloody well. I've met him only 1,000 times. Oh, Tony Nichols. Thank you, Russie. Tony Nichols, years ago, I kept meeting with, used to write a lot for Chris Tarrant, used to write a lot of our silly skits that we used to do on The Breakfast Show. It was written by a great guy called Tony Nichols, charming man. And he kept telling me that he was going to write, and then he did write the biography of Larry Grayson. And then there was a terrific documentary on Larry Grayson. And
was it one of those? Interest was the biography called "Shut That Book"?
Shut that door. I sang this the other day to Madame, who did not find it amusing. She was sitting in the car with me. Shut that door, it's freezing cold in here. Shut that door, I'm feeling rather queer. She looked at me and she went, why are you making up those lyrics? I said, those were the lyrics. That was the song. Larry Grayson, way ahead of his time. And when you watch him in Generation Games, things like that, I much prefer him to Forsyth. His timing.
Queer podcast.
So don't look innocent, because my hands are here.
I think I pushed the wrong button. I'm sorry.
I thought you were going to do like a Larry Grayson song. I was really impressed. Larry Grayson's sense of timing, it was magnificent. And then they showed the last appearance, which was on a big variety. Was it the Palladium or the Prince of Wales Theatre?
Royal Variety, 1994 at it would have been Prince of Wales, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think it was the Prince of Wales. Anyway, he was. It was awful. You know, there's always a time to quit. There's a time to quit.
No, but it was just very sad because
it was horribly sad. It was. I felt I was just watching it on my own, and I felt so sad because
it was just almost as if it had all gone.
It had gone. The how can I put this? The essence. Don't always pander to Francois Pascal. She's back on again. Good on you, Phil. I did an episode of his series, My Honorable Mrs., with Derek Nemo, and toured Canada with him on stage in Doctor at l'Age.
Love it.
So, Francois, did you ever hook up with Joe Good? because she was always banging on about working with Derek Nimmo. That must have been quite fun doing the tours. Did they go to those shows? Very interesting. I don't think they don't do it anymore, but they used to take, like, Allo Hello went on the road with Vicky Michelle and all the gang, Guy Signer and all my mates and that. So that went on the road and did big business. It's fabulous that you take a Doctor at Large, like a TV show, what was a film, and then take it onto the theatres. I love that idea. It was fun. Don't do it anymore. No. You can't have Love Island, can you? The stage show.
Hashtag wretch.
Hashtag sticking my... God. I was interviewed by Joe. Francois, everyone and his mother's been interviewed by Joe. And back into 2020, lads. Seriously, though, Dave Allen was a legend, says Lisa James. Yeah. Dave Allen, totally ahead of his time. Dave Allen, absolutely.
I feel like Lisa is a bit of a sit-at-home producer. This is what I'm sensing.
Yeah, I'm noticing that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Back it up, James. Back it up. Yeah, I told her. She got told.
Do you know what? I'm slightly surprised. The number of people who've watched who haven't noticed that we've swapped background again, because based on the start of the show, where I know there weren't quite as many people watching as there are now.
Yeah.
I don't think people have realised that we've swapped background again, that we're the correct way.
That's why our yin and yang is way better now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Restored balance.
In fact.
Oh, hang on. Where are your golden balls?
I'm going to play with my balls. There we go.
The fact that most people in this country seem to gear up or ramp up towards Christmas as soon as the August bank holiday weekend is over. We should start calling them jingle balls.
We should. What are they ramping up to? I've never got it. I just don't understand it. It's just a day.
It's a marketing thing.
I know it's a horrible marketing thing, that and Halloween. It was great fun working with Derek Nimmo. He was a stickler for discipline and a great pro.
Bravo.
Lisa James, lol.
Laugh out loud.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I saw you switch. I have OCD. You really need to get me on air one day. Why? So you can produce the show.
I just thought I'd let you know OCD is obsessive compulsive disorder. Seeing as you didn't know what LOL was.
I did really.
Okay.
Anyway, on the floor laughing. Rolf.
A ruffle. Oh, I love a ruffle. If I'm truly ruffling, then that's great. There's one thing. Now, I can't remember if I sent this to you, Russ, but there is a clip out there on the old YouTube of a Scottish, and it's relevant, of a Scottish grandmother reading a little book to her grandson called Wonky Donkey. And it is absolutely flipping hilarious. If you get a moment, please take 5. If you're feeling a bit glum, because it's a laugh a minute, just go on to YouTube and do a search for Scottish grandmother Wonky Donkey. And I promise you, it's absolutely, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a tonic.
Uplifting, a tonic.
Yeah, it's an absolute tonic. It's
too early for a drink. Too early for a drink. I'm not going to start drinking. Talking of Dave Allen, says Simon Buckman, may your God go with you. Have a good week. Off skis. Okay. Where's he gone? I don't know what he's doing. Couldn't wait to the end of the show.
C'est la vie. Anyway, let's have a little look. Ugh.
What?
Anyway.
What did you just do then? What were you doing? What was
I was
that?
doing a stretch.
Why? Let's have a little look, you said.
Yes, at the stretch. Because it's good for you. You see? Stretching out.
You have to make the alter cucker noise when you do that.
Oh, I'm such an alter. I actually genuinely do now. I think for the last 2 years at least, I've always cricked whenever I make a noise. Whenever I make a move, it's horrendous. If I bend down, I'm the kind of person that does this whole. It's terrible. Why do we do that? That doesn't even make sense to do that.
You should do my personal training.
That's
hilarious.
The only thing I
can. Oh God. Lisa James. Oh, she's back. Ha ha. I don't understand why an adult starts their sentence with that. Ha ha. I've worked in the media for 17 years. My interviews are class. I have seen Wonky Donkey. I was crying. So funny.
Thank you.
What do you do, Lisa James? in the
Very,
media?
very funny.
What do you do, Lisa James? We'd like to know. Tatty Philaris. You see, people go mad about Ken Dodd, don't they? I could take a bit of it, but I wasn't like.
Oh, I loved Ken Dodd. He was
No,
brilliant.
you did. I know, very, very clever man. But you know, humor is humor. If it's funny, it's funny. Yeah. There was. What was I going to talk about? There was an American comedian who was very, very rude, and she's had gastric work, and she looks terrible. Here's the thing, girls. There's an Wonky. What was that?
Oh, was what?
Not you. Are you shuffling cards now? What are you doing? Playing patience?
What?
I just had a noise. I just had a noise. Serious? Huh? Okay, never mind. Must be me. I think I'm hallucinating. This isn't good.
I'm worried about Russ Peeps.
You think they did something to me in the MRI scan?
Oh, maybe. They did that to me, actually. You know, when I had my MRI scan done a few years ago now, they had to inject me with something. I'm not sure whether
they give you a dye so you can fly. I didn't have to dye this time. I've had it in the past. And they go, now then, you will feel a little warm. Oh, you feel like a turkey on Christmas Day. If they inject you with this stuff, the dye, so they can see everything properly. Boy, that heats you up.
You know, it's not very good. In fact, actually, there was the dye went a bit wrong for me. So, of course, when I went to go get the results, they go, how's this for a heart-stopping moment? I'm actually being serious for once in my sorry life. I went to go get the results, and I was told that something had shown up in my brain, and they had said that although it looks like it's fluid filled because it was showing up with the dye, they believe that at worst case scenario, it could be an aneurysm.
Jesus Christ, you don't want that.
I said, oh, okay. I mean, because I really didn't know how to respond to that because I'm not being funny.
Break it to you kind of gently.
No, but you never expect anyone to say anything like that to you.
No, you're not.
Never any way of preparing for that. Anyway, the upshot is they said, right, we're going to send you for another scan because it could just be that there was a problem with the scanner. In other words, there could have been a fault on the first image. So they always do another scan just to check it. Longest 2 weeks of my life because God, it was nothing. Okay. Scan showed up absolutely fine second time.
What was it? What
it was a mistake on the scanner. It was a mistake on the scanner the first time.
Because you're so cheap. You had your scan done on a fax machine. I shoved your head onto a Xerox, scanner. It's not that. It's not like a Xerox photocopier. But I'll save some money here. Look, let me just put my head on the glass screen. I'll shut the lid, and there we go. That would be it.
But I was trying to stay positive because I was.
Bet you were, because an aneurysm would take you out like that, just from nothing. I've lost two dear friends to that. They just drop.
Just so grateful that they'd found a brain.
Right. Damn right.
But I was just so grateful they'd found a brain. So I just couldn't cling on to that.
Maybe they were lying. Lisa James, I am a writer. I love this. I love this bit. Wait for this bit. I'm a writer, TV personality, and have covered Russia today with what? You have a dog or a cat, you put it on, you cover it. How does this work?
What have you covered Russia with? A blanket?
A blanket. Could be a blanket, could be a duvet.
Blanket.
Somebody said to me it could be an eider down or a quilt.
Yes, a quilt.
Hello. Horner's watching this on a beach or sitting by the side of a pool or something. She could be doing that. Your TV personality, I never know what that means. Lisa,
well, I know who you are.
Well, who is she? I mean, she's great, but I mean, the picture looks lovely. But whom is she? You've got that look that suddenly you're impressed.
Because Lisa was in Big Brother. She probably won't thank me for saying it. She probably wants to. I don't know. Most people who are in Big Brother want to forget it, I guess. But she was
in the Big Brother house. Lisa's not happy. She's gone to the kitchen to complain. Were you? So you were in Big Brother
back in the day when but Lisa was back in the day when I actually used to watch Big Brother before it had gone completely and utterly round the twist.
Lisa's gone to the diary room. Hello, Lisa. Hello. I think that's how it works. I don't know. Do you know that?
It was a really sort of open question, didn't they? They used to sort of say, "How are you feeling today?" And you knew full well that someone behind the glass was either there as a producer just trying to open up a question just to make sure that you got something out of it, as opposed to, "Are you okay?" Because then it would be yes or no. But I was never sure whether or not there was genuinely a psychiatrist the other side of the glass.
Well, we had them on. Don't you remember we had that lady on who was a psychiatrist who was meant to profile?
I don't remember what I did yesterday. You can't expect me to remember that.
When we had the studio before life stopped, we had this lady on who was a profiler for these reality shows. Do you remember? And you had a bit of a go.
Yeah.
You had a bit of a go, and she wasn't that happy.
What?
Because you said, "Well, how do you let all these lunatics through to the show?"
Well, it was only
which was the question I was dying to ask. I said, "You're the profiler. These people need serious help."
I was only asking what I think everyone was thinking at that time, and it's very simple. What on earth is she doing? How does she profile someone and says, "Yep, your cracker's enough"?
Let's have her. Look, you and I both know, and I'm sure Lisa, and I'm not making any aspersions about you, Lisa, whatsoever, because I don't know you. But they want conflict, they want rows, they want shouting and screaming, they want people crying, they want breakdowns. Of course they do.
Ed Grossman says, "Russ, have you ever considered doing I'm a Celebrity?"
Oh, I've had agents ask in the past, would I be interested? And I've said no, I wouldn't be interested in doing it. Couldn't bear it.
What, a trip
I don't like people that much. I don't want to be stuck in the freaking jungle. First of all, what? I'm going to leap out of a helicopter on a parachute. I'd rather... No, that's not going to happen.
Halfway there. That was what you used to do as a day job.
Yeah, but no, I didn't leap out of the flying with a freaking parachute. So that's no for a start, right? Two, what? I want to be stuck with these people? Mind you, it depends how much they're going to pay me. If they're going to pay me £500,000, I'll do it. $250,000, I'll do it. The money has gone through the roof on that for the stars that they want. The money's gone through the roof. Phil, it could be you.
What would be, your luxury item if you were to go into I'm a Celebrity?
They don't have a luxury. Do they have a luxury item?
Yes, they're allowed to take one. I think they're allowed to take one luxury item, aren't they?
Oh, I'd take my cigars. That would be great.
Oh, but then how would you be able to use those cigars? Because you wouldn't necessarily take a lighter, would you?
Well, I've got a fire. I'd get some schmendrick. You collect wood. You non-entity from page 3 or whatever the hell you are. Get some wood.
Michael Watson says, "Camel's testicles, Russ. That must be tempting."
Michael, you're right. I mean, I wouldn't mind going to the other side of the planet to eat, camel's anus. That sounds just lovely. Yeah, it's about, Ed Grossman's right. It's about 150 to 200 grand, depending on. Yeah, 200 grand. Yeah, I'd do it for 200 grand. What are you talking about?
I'd like to meet the individual who stumbled across the rear end of a camel or a rear end of a camel.
That looks tasty.
And thought to themselves, lovely.
Nice.
I mean, I think you could be forgiven for thinking that someone looked at the rear end of a camel and then thought, oh, maybe you could get a pencil sharpener out of that. I understand that. But when you look at it and think, oh, that looks really delicious. Really?
Lisa's having a go at me now. Look at this. Lisa's having a go. You can read it out.
Thank you.
This is what happens when you talk to TV personalities, unquote.
Hello. Behind here. Can you see us? Sorry.
No.
Wait. This is the problem with large messages. You can't see us. Anyway.
We're holding on. I'm holding on.
Right.
I'm just holding.
Okay.
Right.
Lisa said. Okay. Lisa says, "Russ, you really are in a bad mood. Naughty Russ. Loving Phil." Oh, by the way, you can. I'm not greedy, Lisa. You're welcome to spell Phil with one L, but thank you.
Just one L will do.
Loving Phil, though, cheeky sods, or quite. News reporting. Yes, I have done a lot of TV. I am laughing so much now. The people behind the glass were hopeless.
Of course they were.
I actually had the psychologist that profiled me in a knot. I trained as a psychologist. Bravo. Brilliant. And then she says, "I was put in to stir it up and paid the ultimate price. Phil, Google me." Okay. Wow.
Notice I wasn't invited to Google her.
Well, you're in a bad mood. Look, excuse me. You were just invited to go on I'm a Celebrity. I wasn't.
Yeah, you're right. Here's the thing.
Swings and roundabouts. You've been invited.
My oldest friend.
I've been invited to Google. I think,
you were invited round to Jill Kenton's house. That counts. There you go. So shut up about it. My oldest friend is who we've been friends since we were 9 years old. We were your biggest fan. Yeah, we get the gag.
Not with my fans. You're here, there's nothing now here. Isn't that what they did on the Titanic? They just
you are channeling your inner Kate Winslet.
Yeah.
I always think at the end of that, I thought, you stupid, greedy cow, move a couple of inches to the left and Leonardo DiCaprio could get on the piece of driftwood. No, hog the whole thing, why don't you?
You know what? I must admit, though, I do recognise that was very selfish behaviour on her part. And I wonder whether... Do you think Rose lived with the guilt for the rest of her life when she did that? I don't
think she gave monkeys, quite frankly. She said, well, I've got this driftwood and it's all mine and Leo can just drown.
And also, am I the only one who notices another discrepancy with that? Why on earth, when there were literally thousands of people, or hundreds, there are about 1,500 people in the water, someone please tell me why no one else thought to go to that door and to try and get on top of it? That doesn't make sense at all.
It was a Jim Morrison tribute act. Thank you. Paul Claridge, sorry I'm late. Been walking amongst the horses in the exit. You're in Croydon. You're halfway up a ladder and you're giving out papers. There's no horses in the middle of Croydon. You're lying. Russ, this year, celeb is in Wales. Oh, God.
It was in Scotland.
God, I'm not going to that. Because there's no Versace hotel. The only thing would be to drag out everyone you know and go to the Versace hotel. Pat Sharp had a fantastic time. Tony Blackburn had a fantastic time. Mike Reid, they were very cruel to Mike Reid. He and I had a long chat about it when he came out the show, because they decide what's going to happen. So it was so heavily edited, and all the stuff that he'd done was edited out, and he was made to look like an old fool. It was his words, not mine. They played old music because he wore reading glasses and all that. It was so unfair. They treated him very badly. My oldest friend, since we were 9 years old, we were at boarding school together since we were 9, was Peter Bazalgette. Now, Sir Peter Bazalgette. One day we're having lunch, and he tells me about this show that he's going. I said, you look a bit tense. He said, yeah, I'm going to, I haven't got time to tell this story. I'll tell it another day. Anyway, I told him not to buy the show. And he said, well, I've just bought it. What was the show? Big Brother. Which is why he's a multi-millionaire. There we go.
I suggest that when you saw him, that he thought he looks a little bit like a wigwam and a teepee.
He was too tense.
Hey! Thank you. We are available for weddings and bar mitzvahs, I should warn you.
We're not. No, we're really not. Stop to that. All that after dinner speaking. I don't want to do that anymore. And now I'm a happy bunny. Cheers, Phil. I had a meeting with ITV for I'm a Celeb. They asked me about bugs and rats. Bugs don't bother me. And as for rats, my answer was, well, I dated most of them.
Thank you very much, Lisa. Well done.
Okay.
It's very good.
I
see what you did there.
She doesn't like me. She doesn't like me now because I don't know who she is.
Is your grumpy?
That's why she doesn't like me.
No, it's because you're grumpy. That's why.
I wasn't grumpy. I was being delightful.
Oh, so new meaning.
I was being nice.
Good gracious me. I hate to tell you this, Lisa, but I think actually Russ is in quite a fine fettle today.
Yes, so thank you. Yeah, in your face, Lisa Janes. Sure.
I just can't imagine you in the I'm a Celeb jungle somehow.
Me?
All it would take is for one person to hack you off. Flipping hell, you would stop. Actually, do you know what I think you would do? Is I think you'd go and retrieve the dunny and pour it over them.
I probably would. Would. And what they wouldn't like is I would have no idea who they were. And when you meet, I remember I was at the BBC once for something, or ITV, I can't remember, and somebody walked into the green room and gave the classic, but don't you know who I am?
Oh, I hate that.
And I went, no, I haven't the faintest idea who you are. And it was some Herbert off some reality show.
Well, just in case you don't know who we are, that's Russ, Kane. I'm Phil Dave, and sadly, we are flat out of time for today. But thank you so much for all of your amazing comments. We've loved speaking to you, and you speaking to us. Just join us all over again on Wednesday, why don't you? We'll do it again midday, right here on Men's Radio. Bye.